Sam arrives at Carly's office and says she knows why Jason let them think he was dead. Sam says what Carly's about to hear isn't all about her, even though she'll make it out to be. She says this affected her and Danny, Liz and Jake, and anyone who loved Jason. She plays the recording from the meeting with the 5 families where Carly took over Sunny. Carly asks where this came from. Sam says it came from the FBI, and Spinelli acquired it. Carly is stunned, as she had no idea this was the evidence the FBI had, let alone this recording existed. The meeting happened over 3 years ago under tight security. Sam says it wasn't tight enough. Carly asks why she went looking for this. Sam wanted to know what the FBI was holding over Jason, and she and Spinelli wanted to delete it, but they couldn't. Carly can't believe Jason was protecting her in layman's. Poor Jason. Sam fumes. Jason was not the victim. He'd abandoned his children and let everyone who loved him think he was dead. Carly says this isn't Jason's fault, and Sam tells her she blames her just as much as Jason. She says Jason abandoned his life to cover for her. Sam rants about how Carly never has to pay for her own mistakes. Carly says Sam needs to direct her anger at Kate's. Sam says she'll always stick up for Jason and vice versa, but to think about all the people Jason left behind for her. Sam storms out. At the warehouse, Anna and Jason argue over how to get the information out of Valentin. Jason wants to break into his place, but Anna says her way will work. She is his blind spot. Jason says he sacrificed 2.5 years to protect Carly. He needs to prove to the FBI that Valentin is their guy. Later, Kate arrives to see Jason and knows Anna was here. So what did they talk about? He hopes Jason recorded everything. Jason says he never records his conversations. He tells Kate he won't find anything on Anna as there is nothing to find unless he doesn't even care about actual evidence. Kate says Anna's background at the WSB proves she's not so innocent. Jason warns him he's following the wrong lead. Kate tells him if he doesn't find the evidence against Anna, then he'll go back to Quantico and take Carly with him. He storms out. Kate stops by Carly's office, and she says she's a little busy. He says he will make it worthwhile for her and has brought champagne. He never thanked her for rescuing him that night and nursing him back to health. Kate also says his investigation is wrapping up, and he'll return to Quantico soon. She's sorry to see him go. He says he won't miss much about Port Charles, but he will miss her. Carly asks if he's rounded up all the bad guys. Kate says that the thing about bad guys is that there is always one more out there, and this person has done very bad things. She notes his interesting choice of words, and is this bad guy really a woman? Kate says if he didn't know any better, he'd think she was trying to get information out of him. But as for the gender of the bad guy, a good agent never tells. She asks if he's a good agent. He says, the best. She says she'll drink to that. Anna arrives at Valentin's, and she comments on how lovely his house is decorated. He says he bought it for her in hopes she'd move in. Valentin goes to the cellar for wine, and Anna snoops around. She doesn't find anything, and Valentin returns and asks, "Did you find what you were looking for?" Anna says she was just admiring the books on his shelf, as he knows she loves to read. They sip some wine, and Anna tells him about how their old friend Jack was involved in a knife fight in Pentonville and was recently at General Hospital. She says she went to see him, and he strongly implied he stabbed himself to get a visit from Carly of all people. Valentin would rather not discuss Jack and says he'd rather discuss her. She says he's so good at deflecting. He suggests they go to the patio for dinner. After dinner, they share another drink. Anna says he seems to be very successful at ELQ these days and traveling a lot. So what's he up to? He says he won't bore her to tears with that corporate stuff. He says her work is more interesting and asks what she is working on. She says it's classified, which reminds her she has a big day tomorrow. She has to go. Valentin asks her not to, as there is something he has to tell her. Anna says this sounds serious. Valentin says it is, and they have been dancing around the fact that their relationship has been damaged and trust lost. However, what he has to say is completely honest. He loves her, he always has. It's in his DNA, and being apart from her has been agony. This love he has for her hasn't faded and never will.